Okay, I'm playing WoW right now, and just like always, I come across these things that always make me think, wait a second. So I just flew over from Stormwind to Northshire, and this is like design, not game design, but like world design, logical, you know. So there is a lot of gnomish engineers. There's a lot of like manipulating of terrain happening these days in World of Warcraft. We have so much shit where it's just like, oh yeah, we can move mountains, we can make huge holes. So how come an important place like Northshire, which sure it might be in lore more of a small like farm, you know, you just have this little house or whatever. I don't actually know the full lore about it, but how come? Considering for us players, it's like our starting point, our village. How come Stormwind being this huge, being right next to it, they never once decided, hey, why don't we open up a tunnel that goes straight from this place in Stormwind? I mean, hell, it could even be outside the gates, right? You don't even have to risk like security in Stormwind. You could literally just go through here, right? This place maybe even. Like, so not a single one of the villagers or Stormwind city people. It kind of feels like real life, I guess, where the politicians just don't do shit. Or the people in charge, the mayors, etc. How come they've never decided, hey, why don't we just build a tunnel to connect the two? Which, I mean, gameplay-wise, it's like, who cares, right? It's like, okay, we don't start in this zone anymore. I just went here for the heritage armor, right? We don't really use this place anymore, unless for, like, nostalgia. But if they ever gonna reuse it, if they ever gonna make more out of the starting zone or whatever, or if they ever rework it, that's one thing I'm hoping for, is that Blizzard takes all the starting zones and makes them anew. Including, like, all... Obviously, they want to rework the whole world anyway, the old world, right? So might as well remake all the starting zones. But if they do, if you do Blizzard, if you do this, build a fucking tunnel, okay? Not just is it convenient for players, I mean, we're gonna unlock, like, dragon riding really easily anyway in the new expansion. I think it's level 15 or something, or 20, right? But not just is it convenient, it also just feels so good. Imagine you coming right out of the starting zone and bam, you're there. You're in Stormwind. How nice is that? Sure, it's not the same as like walking in through the gates for the first time, seeing this huge city. But who gives a shit? We're gonna dragon ride out of like... It doesn't even matter anymore because we have the new weird starting zone, which is such a weird transition to the normal game. We just... It doesn't really matter anymore. So I feel like if they ever want to remake this zone, just build a tunnel, Blizzard. Or even just build a tunnel in general. Like, as a designer, I feel like you would agree, right? Like, any world designer would think, okay, this is old. The reason why there's mountains is because back in the day they wanted to separate the zones. But these days we've been opening up all the modern zones together anyway. So why not open up this part? Why not put like a nice gate here? Kind of like in the Dwarven starting zone, you know, you have this nice gate that goes through a tunnel. How you could even make like a little goblin gnome like mechanical platform that's kind of like an escalator that just takes you across. Something like that, right? It could be like some cool lore characters just chilling down there. You could have some like cool engineers working on it. You could even gradually open it up, you know. You see construction at first, then eventually it opens up. It would be like a small little exciting thing that wouldn't really have much gameplay wise, which is why I don't think it will happen, but it would be nice. Why not, right? Just open it up. Open the mountain, give it a hole, you know, and then let's go straight through it. Why not? Hell, we could even... I guess it doesn't work anymore with the new, like, way you learn riding and stuff. But imagine you... I guess it doesn't work anymore because we don't learn riding anymore. But just imagine you're here at the stables. You get your mount, and then you're supposed to ride through here, and then there's this tunnel entrance somewhere around here, right? Maybe like behind this tree. And then it tells you to go through like a little track. Or like have a little mount race or something. You know, just something fun. Something that makes Stormwind feel fresh and new. And I feel like that's a great opportunity to do so. You could even recycle the zone as a completely different new experience. Fuck it being the starting zone, who cares? Just make it like a festival zone. Stormwind holds its festivals here. Something like that, right? Event zones. Maybe make it a little extra town. Blizzard could do so much here. Like there's so much potential with these kind of small things that you just stumble across when you have ideas. And it would be so nice to see this. Like, imagine it is Hollow's End. Sure, usually we just go to the typical zones. I don't know what it is for Alliance, but on the Horde side you go to like Silver Moon. No, it's Undercity, I think. Yeah, Undercity. Haven't played in a while. But imagine, you do that, and you're like, man, I heard the festival is now starting in Northshire. So it takes you here and tells you to go through the tunnel. And then maybe there could be like a little thing, you know, something cool in the tunnel that takes you even quicker. Maybe some gnome engineering that like propels you through the tunnel. Something ridiculous, you know? Just something fun, man. Just open up this area, it would be so nice. And then we can have like a little festival zone here. You could have like tents around. You could have like this forest finally like redone. Like how long has this tree been burning? Like this is one thing I hate about WoW. The world changes too slowly and it stays destroyed for too long. If you're designing a zone like this and you put fire to the trees, every time I'm walking through here, it just feels like this entire part of the world is just standing still in time. It's never been past Cataclysm. It's just been standing here doing nothing. It's almost as if the bronze dragonfly just froze this for no reason. You know, it makes no sense. I want to see either Blizzard changing its design philosophy onto, okay, if we're gonna have a zone where stuff is burning, as soon as you like finish the quest line and you go out, there is like a way to restore it, you know? Like, extinguish the fire. There's a quest where you extinguish the fires and kinda clean up the zone, right? But afterwards it's still on fire and it doesn't really change anything. I wish Blizzard would do more dynamic, either more dynamic zone changes based on that, or just after patches, which I would prefer more. Blizzard brings out a new patch, bam, zone is clean. Sure, then you would be more restricted with the quest. You can't say like extinguish the fires unless you do phasing, which I don't like in general. But it would be a lot better than having this stuck in time for so long. It's just so boring. If you have a whole zone for years that doesn't change, and now even doesn't have a purpose anymore. I mean, look at this thing. It's just standing here and like, it's so squarey as well. It's so old and outdated. Like, even with like higher fidelity textures, this will change nothing. Because it's just so old. Like, look at those fucking trees, Blizzard. What is this? And these trees are like basic models. It's not like they have to individually change them. They could probably just replace them all at once with higher fidelity ones. I don't know. It's just so much old content that I really wish would be more opened up, would be more renewed. Like every time I walk through the world after Cataclysm and the zones are still destroyed or still have broken places, like how long did Stormwind have the fucking marks on the wall? How long did Stormwind not have its area over there restored? Like where they now put the monument or whatever it is, right? How long did we have all of these Cataclysm things like just standing there and ruined? if we consider the lore, why would the druids not go back to Tanaris and fix the goddamn environment? Like, why would they not go to Thousand Needles and fix the place up? Why would they not... Look at what the goblins did in Ashara, like... like, they blew up the whole environment and fucked it up, and now it's been there since Cataclysm and it looks like shit. This whole area looks like shit. Like, if we consider the world to be open and, like, alive and moving, we need to change these things. No druid in the world would just be like, oh, look at what the goblins did. And just keep it that way. Especially with fear. Like, again, open up the tunnel so Stormwind can bring in some fire extinguishers. Like, what is happening? Blizzard, please.